Good morning, dreamers. Happy Monday. Whew, the weekend just flew by. Where did it go? My gracious, pretty nutsoids. You know what? I was thinking about what it takes to learn how to dream. And part of what it takes is the ability to recognize that your emotions, even the ones we typically call bad, aren't bad. They're just messengers. They tell us that something's going on. There are some emotions that I tend to busy away. I want to say bury away, but I busied them away. When I get sad, when I get lonely, and then I get super, super busy, and guaranteed my mom knows. She's like, "So, what's going on with the depression?" What do you mean? I'm not depressed. Because my depression is very high functioning, and the higher I am functioning, the more I am doing, the worse it is. And I'm saying yes to things that I really don't have time for. And I mean emotional time. My schedule can fit a lot of stuff. I have in the past year, obviously with COVID, it quite helps this, but my schedule's probably dropped in half for extracurriculars, things outside of work. I think we're all that way. But emotionally, there's times when you just don't have time for things because you haven't allowed other things to take root in your life the way they're supposed to. I don't know if I'm communicating properly. Certainly not clinically. I'm just chatting with a friend, right? But I do know that when I don't take the time to feel and I busy my feelings away, the depression comes, the cloudy days come, no matter how beautiful it is outside, doesn't matter. And I don't function well. And I was thinking, yeah, you know what? I think a lot of people, they're not afraid of their anger right now due to our lockdowns. They're willing to spout out the anger, but the anger is a sign of, of other things. Sometimes our emotions, because we are not acknowledging them, they come out regardless, right? Because they're there and they're going to play the part that they need to play. And it comes out as anger instead of deep sadness, instead of grief, instead of loneliness, instead of horror, whatever that looks like. For instance, my mama friends. I have mama friends who their kids are police officers and their mama hearts are aching right now because the police have been designed in such a way that there is a response that has been trained in, whether or not we agree. I was talking with a friend yesterday, and she has a friend who was brought into the Toronto Police Department to build, um, help rebuild it. And when she stepped into it, she said that the things that are there are horrific. Like we would never grasp the deep rooted systemic stuff happening in the department. And so your average police officer isn't necessarily a bigoted racist, but this whole system has created this dynamic. And when 9 police cars show up because the color of a suspect was mentioned over the call, versus a police car. One police car coming to make an arrest of a white man. And so these mamas of these police officers are crying because they're saying, my kiddo isn't bad. He's just human. And the grief that they take and the screaming in their face and the this and the that of protesters. And they're supposed to keep their wits about them constantly. And it's so hard. And then I have my friends, my black and brown friends, whose kids are seen as suspicious and they're playing at the park. And that police car doing patrol just happens to drive by and is asking what's going on. But down the street, there's a group of white kids playing basketball. They didn't get stopped. They didn't have a stop to say what's going on. And so there's this dynamic of both and all and every. Everyone is aching. Everyone is done. Everyone has sorrow. So how do we recognize that? It comes out as anger because we haven't taken the time to acknowledge the disappointments, to acknowledge our pain, to acknowledge that watching my kiddo, grown up or still growing up, watching them struggle hurts me. I know with two queer kids, it's really hard. When they come and they say so-and-so said, it's tough to watch our kids struggle. So how does that come out? Well, the whole mama bear concept comes up. Don't mess with my kid. Well, is it really anger? Or is it sorrow? Is it disappointment? Is it grief? I don't know. Only you can determine what's going on, but I know that a lot of the surface anger in the world today, particularly in the online world, which is where we're all living right now, let's be honest, that anger is a sign that something else is happening. So take some time to take care of your heart today. You are more than your emotions. And just because you listen to your emotions doesn't mean you have to obey what they're telling you, right? I listen to my kids, but I'm still in charge. You know what I mean? So treat your emotions like children. Listen, they're valuable. There's a reason they're there and they're giving you a message. But you're still the one in charge. You're still the one to determine if you're going to dehumanize yourself by dehumanizing another. And sometimes when we feel oppressed, we want to dehumanize the oppressor. It's hard, man. It's hard. Acknowledge that it is hard. Acknowledge that this stinks. And when we process, they don't process us. And you'll see your clouds lifting a little bit. One more step to learning how to dream. It's okay to have a melancholy Monday. And it's also good to have a marvelous Monday. You can have both at the same time. Sweet dreams, my friend. Bye.